hello YouTube. I wanted to do something a little bit different than some of the other videos that I've done, and I've kind of decided that as I come across really good channels on YouTube, I'm going to do my best to try to share those with you. Now, it doesn't happen all the time where I come across channels that just all around the channels are really, really good, entertaining, or informative, to the point where I really, really like them a lot. I mean, definitely not to the point where I feel the need to kind of share it with you guys, but I've kind of decided that maybe this is something that I should do, because it's not really. I think it would be beneficial for me to share some of this stuff with you, so that you can enjoy it as much as I do. And this is definitely one of them. This is the very first ever that I'm video that I'm doing like this, and this is for, and the very first one is going to be for, you see it right here, mikeymegamega. And Mike here is a hell of an illustrator. The guy is just a great artist. And if you go down here, and that's actually kind of how I come across him. I decided I wanted to get into JavaScript and Python scripting, and what I thought was one of the easy, what I thought would be an easy project to help get my feet wet with those languages would be to create a visual novel. Now, if you don't know what a visual novel is, it's kind of a Japanese thing where they tell a story, but there's illustrations, and it's almost a choose-your-own-adventure kind of thing, where depending on what choices you make, and those choices are obviously presented to you as you go along, and that has to do with the coding and everything, but depending on what choices you make, it'll send you down different paths, and you can have different endings. But with that was the reason that kind of set me down the path that kind of helped me to find Mikey's Mikey's channel here. And Mike, like I said, I was looking up anime, because a lot of you may or may not even know this, but I've become kind of a fan of anime. I love the drawing style, and if you've ever seen High School DxD, you know why. Because without trying to sound too creepy, the girls in that just really well drawn. But I'm going to leave it at that. Anyway, so what I've kind of wanted to do is I wanted to learn how to draw anime, because if I'm going to be creating visual novels, my first thought was, well, I need to learn how to draw. And after watching anime, I thought, oh, well, this can't be too difficult. Oh, little did I know. It takes a lot of talent to be able to draw anime really well. So for those of you out there who can do it, kudos to you. I got respect for you, because it's not the easiest thing in the world. But anyway, by doing the search for tutorials on how to draw anime, it actually brought me to this video right here. It was the very first video that I watched of Mikey's channel here, and the title of it is How to Draw Sexy Anime Girls from Basic Shapes. And I thought, what better way to get my feet wet and get started than going to the very basics of it? Being a complete noob, that's what I needed. And when I watch this, Mikey does such a great job showing you how to create guidelines, and how to kind of get the general shapes together. And then what's great about this is he goes through and explains it really, really well as he's doing it. And then once he's got all the basics kind of set up, then he'll go into to a time lapse, so you can actually see what it looks like as he's doing it, and what the finished product comes out to be. But if you look at some of these other videos that he's created, these drawings, this is all original artwork. He's got a great imagination, just a lot of creativity. Comes up with really, I mean, some of these are really sexy drawings. I mean, just great job. Just an excellent artist. And these up here, is Sexy Anime Saturdays. These are, he'll go through, and he's just kind of like what he does down here in the tutorials, and he kind of talks about how he's doing it as he's going along, and then he time lapses, and then he jumps into a time lapse where, like I said, you can actually see the finished product at the end. And Mikey, a lot of times, isn't real, he isn't always, like a lot of artists, not thoroughly, satisfied with his work. But make no mistake at all, he's going to be obviously his own worst critic. But I couldn't be happier with, you know, a lot of the stuff that he's done. I'm so very impressed with his work. That's what's prompted me to share his channel with you. So if you're interested in anime at all, how to draw it, or you have an appreciation for just really good talent, you know, regarding art and especially anime, definitely take a look at his channel, because it's like I said, he's really great. The other thing that he does on here, and this is for everybody else, or even inclusively, he's playing this game called The Evil Within, and if I'm not mistaken, it's a PS3 game. But it's a horror zombie, you know, first-person shooter kind of setup, and the game is just super scary. I mean, it's the kind of game that I don't really like to play, because I don't like things jumping out at me, and I don't like, you know, it's just a personal preference. But I'm too chicken shit to play, you know, a game like that. And it's funny because Mike himself, you know, says in his videos that he doesn't really like these kind of games, and he keeps talking about in his commentary, you know, how horrible the game is. He's not saying the game itself is horrible, but the fact that it's scary and things jump out on him. And what's really cool about his videos is he keeps a camera on himself in the upper right hand corner. You can kind of see it here in the screenshot, or the thumbnail rather. He keeps a camera on himself, so you can actually see his reactions when things jump out at him, and as he's going along playing this really scary game. It's very entertaining, and the commentary is just really funny. I mean, he goes along playing this game, things are jumping out at him, and, you know, chomping on his head and everything else, or his Toon's head anyway. But a lot of fun to watch. So like I said, even if you're not, you know, not really that interested in maybe learning how to draw anime, then give those a look. Just really lighthearted. You know, he's a very entertaining guy. You know, check out his channel, because it's a lot of fun. And with that, I'm going to end the very first shout out, if you want to call it a shout out, and probably I'm calling it that because probably I'm reading it right there. But definitely a great video, or a great channel to watch. A lot of really good videos here. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Thanks a lot for watching. If you guys have any suggestions, any comments, things you'd like to see, then, you know, shoot me a message, shoot me a comment, and let me know. And I'll do what I can. I can't guarantee that I can help you with all the different problems that you might run into, especially regarding Linux or Arch Linux. But I'll do what I can, you know, to try to help out as much as I can. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and stay tuned for future videos.